Welcome everyone back to All About the Orville Comments, a show where we go through the comments of the previous episode review and then we read them on the air. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
Everything PCA.
And we always start with the most popular comment, and that one's going to be from Harrison Smith. Jaloja was fine, Primal Urges was okay, but this was epic. Favorite part was definitely the scene where Olara looks out into the sunset. It gave me a chance to think. More modern sci-fi would rather you mindlessly watch without any deep thought. That gave me a chance to reflect on what's happened so far, and I really appreciate it. Very Star Trek-ian for a show to do that. Spoiler below. This is exactly the type of thing the Orville is great at. It told a good story, and a bit at the end with the pickle jar was funny and also made me smile. Reminds me of the scene where Olara and Grayson were talking about Mercia always asking Olara to open things up for him. The scene where Olara overcomes her problems and gets out of the chair to fight the bad guys. Love it. Olara's dad finally realizing her daughter's strengths, Discovery should take notes. This is how you show strong women on television. Not through social justice, but through stories that characters learn something from. Bringing back Robert Picardo and the other guy, I can't think of his name, was amazing. They were Star Trek alum back when Star Trek was good, and it certainly gives the Orville nerd credit as Star Trek show and the STD, which has no credit whatsoever. Oh yeah, I like how Olara leaves because of her family instead of blaming her issues. That's the right way to go. Yeah, it was definitely my favorite of the first 3 episodes.
Oh yeah,
yeah, easily. And it is cool. I like how that the sunset moment was cool because then she's sort of riding the horse and everything. It was a very human moment.
Yeah, it almost had a fantasy element to it. That's what I liked about it.
Because it was like a daydream.
Yeah,
and of course McFarlane. We always mention this. He has that ability to get those sci-fi people to be on his show all the time.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned it. You notice you don't see any of those people at all on Star Trek.
Yeah.
Discovery. Nothing.
I don't think there has been.
Not no.
Yeah, that's kind of it's so crazy.
You think it would be right, but it's not. So when you think about that contrast, you're like, oh, okay.
And again, and you also mentioned she picked her family because it was her choice. And I also didn't she wasn't forced off the ship because she couldn't perform her duties. They found a way for her to do it, but she goes, you know what, my family comes first. And I thought that was a good message.
I think she just needed that acknowledgement from her dad.
Yeah.
I think that was a big part of it to her. That what she doing wasn't stupid, wasn't dumb, wasn't beneath her, This is what she loves to do. She wants to be a security officer. She wanted to be on the Orville. Wanted to join the Union.
We have Cartoon Fan 959. The next episode looks epic. Looks like an epic adventure with the Krill, just like Star Trek Discovery. Just when Star Trek Discovery Season 2 debuts. Do you think they timed that?
Oh, I was thinking that too. It's tomorrow.
Yeah, so we got we get to watch both those things. We have to do
joy! I'm
double reviews.
Yeah,
but that's gonna be fun. But yeah, the next episode looks like it's gonna be because the Krill's they're bad guys.
Yeah,
they're main enemies in the shows, and I kind of want to know more about them. But maybe we will. Maybe
Well, we learned about the religious aspect last year, so we'll see what other aspects of Krill have, hopefully.
Slicer Neons. Not sure if Ken Lookhead feels the same way. The music during the horror elements was spot on and bone-chilling. A much graceful character departure than Tarshiar. The yeek was really cool. Yeah, that horse was super cool. Because you could tell they used they composited half of a real horse and the rest of it was CGI, but I thought it looked really cool.
Oh, they did a good job of it.
And yeah,
when she was petting it, you couldn't even tell. It looked like a real animal.
And the music, when the episode went crazy, when it literally made you the uneasiness, everything just worked. And I honestly thought, oh my god.
First I thought, okay, if you want the spoon, maybe he's a super neat freak, maybe, and and then grab your hand. Oh yeah, really? No, he really wants you to grab the hand. Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then even the music comes in and it lets you know that boom, serious.
Oh, like we said, McFarlane knows how to turn things on a dime so well. Yeah. You're like, oh man, the turn.
Eshe Pace 1776. I love this episode. 9 out of 10 for me. Hard to say what was the best part. The hostage scene was a great example of tension and stakes. I don't think Aladdin would actually put his hand in the boiling pot. Once he did, I wasn't sure how far they would push it, and I could see them chopping fingers off. I got emotional at the end, as I'm really gonna miss Olara. Curious how the next security officer works out. Yeah, oh, he actually did it. Then he's like, oh, I'm going to chop your fingers off. Oh, my God, are they going to actually show the fingers?
The commercial, I don't want to see it. I was like, oh, I don't want to see that. That would just be too much.
Man, McFarlane pushed the...
Well, I'm not... You know what? The thing is, you think he was going to. There was a possibility you thought they were going to show it. it was going to happen. You're like, oh my goodness.
And so, yeah, he also brings up the other security officer. He's probably good at his job. He just has a lot of weird quirks. A lot of weird idiosyncrasies about himself. Eating on the bridge, like smacking his lips. I can't stand
and
that.
I guarantee that voice is the guy who did the voice of Samson from Venture Brothers. I could just tell by the voice that's him. So.
Yeah, but more of like the surfer guy.
Yeah, type.
Again, I forget to always apologize when I pronounce people's usernames. I always mess it up. But Zenith Terrace? I agree with Gordon. Zaylon is beautiful. The horse thing was so cool. I looked at it and thought it might be a puppet of some manner. Practical effects for the win. You can see and feel Elora's feeling of isolation when around her own family. The twist into the horror was great. Talk about mood whiplash. The scene where Ed got shot and where he starts slowly getting crushed on the island's gravity. That was ouch. Exactly, man. You see his feet go flat. Oh my god. The pain must have been... I was surprised he just passed out.
Yeah, no, I didn't scream or something. Oh my goodness.
Imagine a steamroller just running over your legs up to your shins.
I think the adrenaline was going, but once he got on that shuttle pod and they were leaving, he's probably like, oh my goodness.
Give me whatever space morphine you got, because I don't want to feel this anymore.
Yeah.
It was so good to see Elora finally get an opening that allowed her to jump into action. All the scenes between Olara and her father were absolute gold, with them being able to see Olara's strength instead of just her weaknesses. Her reasoning of why she decided to stay on Xylon was understandable. Between her physical ailment and her wanting to reconnect with her family, we want her to stay on the Orville, but it made sense for her to go back to her family. But with that said, I would be quite easily to write her back into the show later on. I can't believe the show made me cry over a jar of pickles. Needless to say, I really love this episode. I can't wait to see what's going on next week when we return to the Krill.
Well, I agree with the first comment. It made me smile when I saw a jar of pickles. It didn't make me cry. It was sweet.
It's and you see them the hugs and the goodbyes and everything, and it was like missing a friend. And it's only been one season and 3 episodes.
It made you care about this character. Even if you didn't care, you'd be annoyed by it. But it just does it so well.
Like in Discovery, if that girl with the little metal thing on her on the bridge left,
and they made a big deal out of it, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, what's her name again?
I have no idea. That person on the bridge on the helm. That's
you have no idea who it is.
No.
Like, who is this? I guess it was Tyler was the security officer, right?
Well, not anymore, but he was. Yeah.
but I don't even remember the positions.
No.
See, that's why it goes to show you how much more impact it has in such a short amount of time for you to make you care about this character.
Oh, exactly. Because there was so much growth she had.
Fractured vision. A case of extraordinary people in extraordinary circumstances. True, because when that whole scene in the house... I like the fact since Olara had security training, it's a self-defense technique. It's called waiting your turn. You wait for your opening. You don't just attack right away. You wait for your attacker to be distracted, looking the other way, and you plan your counter ambush.
Take away the fact that this could be just a regular situation. Yeah. People at home, and knowing, being a cop, you would know what to do.
Yeah, or a military person.
You would know, yeah.
So yeah, that's just it was smart of her. She stayed calm. She also realized if you make that video, we're all dead. Yeah. So we have to give him a reason to keep you alive. So there's a lot of smarts there, and she didn't freak out. The rest of her family, which I thought was lame, that when she was wrestling with the woman, Mom, sister, jump in, help me out. They just said
she's not super strong. She's just a regular strength person now. She doesn't have that. It's like, come on.
They just didn't do anything, bunch of jerks. But again, you can't blame them since they're almost docile when it comes to physical. Yeah, they don't understand
that kind of,
Leslie Mingo. Last night's episode of the Orville was really good and sad. Alara's home planet is amazing. Also, the new alien with the long elephant nose or inside body part is that guy who does the voice of Joe on Family Guy. Yeah, he also does the voice of Joe.
Yeah.
And the planet's just amazing looking.
Oh my goodness.
It was gorgeous. It almost looked like, again, we only saw one little spot, but it was like, it just got me feeling of like a coastal town, lots of tourism, everyone, it's a very
But you can see why Laura would leave, because it seems very dull, very bland, kind of. Outside of with this situation, obviously, it seems kind of like, and then when they're all in the dinner and they're all talking, Laura just has a look like, I don't know.
Yeah, she has nothing to add to the conversation, and everyone's talking about their son universities, and she's like, oh, jeez.
Exactly.
A stark contrast for the Mocklin homeworld, which was like all industrial and everything and kind of scary looking. And their planet's like freaking Garden of Eden, beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
And the special, that would have looked so cheesy without good special effects.
Oh, I know.
And I'm so glad that the budgets are up and up now.
Oh, yeah. This is incredible.
The next comment from Krauss. Sucks she was my favorite character. Also, hopefully the show doesn't get canceled because I heard the views aren't that great this season. There has been a decline in viewership.
I don't think it's been as bad for it to get canceled, but hopefully it turns it around.
This next episode is going to be like a big action episode next week, so I'm hoping that's the one that gets everyone right back into it. I think the first 2 episodes were just mainly for the fans. And now we're going to get that episode that people can jump in and do, cool action moments.
Yeah, I hope so too.
KJH. Philip versus the EMH. It's funny because you had the both doctors that were on tracks. And now they're fighting in a weird way. Arguing over a vaccine was awesome, but also got dark in a hurry. Oh, yeah, it did. Broken bones, burned hands, nearly cut off fingers. Again, great visual effects. They clearly left the door wide open for her return. The shuttle bay scene at the end felt more genuine than acted. Well done. It was great send-off, and the jar of pickles was a heartfelt touch. Scott Grimes, who plays Malloy, he tweeted out that, he got all choked up during that final scene. And, he goes, even when I rewatched the episode, it made him all sad again. Because, again, they work together, and it's like a little family.
It almost seemed like a goodbye, like this is like the after party of the show. It didn't seem like necessarily on the show. That's what I felt like. That was genuine. Yeah, like I said, it was genuine. It wasn't fake at all.
I am Bubbles Fly So High. I can remember this name. It's such a cool username. It's just unique as hell. My first episode of Next Generation was the one where Tasha was killed. Someone somewhere was maybe introduced to a good sci-fi with this Orville episode, just like I was all those years ago. The parallels are there because when Tasha
but she was gone forever.
Yeah. And this one, she just left the ship, so technically she can come back later. But yeah, you get an early season 1 person, security.
Well, you also had the parallel with Malloy going from the helm to the engineering tech, Geordi LaForge. So you're having all these.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, I know, I like it too.
It's a cool little touch.
But
I like it.
But it's not annoying though. It does it in such a way you're like, oh.
Yeah. You think you'd be like, oh, they're ripping things off, but it's almost like that really cool homage.
Almost endearing, almost.
Because we haven't had this type of sci-fi in forever.
No.
We really, really haven't.
Nope.
Travis Marshall, crazy one of you made the Simpsons connection, me, as I did as well, but elsewhere. Olara feels a sense of isolation and loneliness having returned home, and when she gets to the beach staring out, she notices the lone light. Homer approaches the lighthouse. I remember that. Homer, Earl, my friend's name is Earl. Hang in there, buddy. I'm coming. No more loneliness for Homer and Earl. And it was just the name of the lighthouse. There was no one in there. And that's just so stupid. It's just you and me, buddy. But yeah, it's just really funny making weird connections from things that you see. But yeah, I just had that weird Simpson thing in my head.
That is funny.
Rick Kelly should have done more with the gravity. Ocean waves should have been muted. Plants should have been much sturdier. The esophagus shouldn't have come out of his nose, but out of his throat because of gravity. Well, see, that was that other guy. It's because they're aliens.
They're aliens. Their physiology can be completely different. And that planet, well, maybe the waters and the plants adapted to it. See, you can't...
On a molecular level.
So that's why the waves still look like normal waves, because they're used to it.
And the thing coming out of his nose, your nose does connect to your throat, too.
Yeah.
It's only an extra, 1.5 inches, 2 inches?
I mean, they're aliens. You can't really...
And I'm sure they played around with tons of different looking things, but yeah, it was...
I'm pretty sure if you took those plants and waters off that planet, they'd probably go flying everywhere. They wouldn't be able to handle it.
Probably their cellular structure would fall apart.
Yeah, it would just
because it needs the pressure to stay together. Gross Con, still a little sci-fi adventure for me. Season 2 has been tasting like the Love Boat so far. I can see of the first 2 episodes it was very, very relationship focused. This one was more like an adventure for a character, and the next one's really going to be the kind of like sci-fi thing. So I can't fault you for that. I can't
fault it for you, but it was for the fans too, so it's like...
Yeah, I can agree with that. Vlad Dracul II. Michael who? ST, what do you mean? Alar Katan's on the Orville. I know you can't... I don't think we've ever had a review of the Orville without bringing up Discovery in some way.
And vice versa.
Because they're coming out at the same time. One carries the torch for the Trek, and the other one's only in name only.
Yeah, and it's insane it's the other way around.
If it wasn't for her insecurity, she would be just like Worf. I mean, training with the safeties off thing, thinking it's real for the other episode was badass. I'm glad her dad knows just what kind of jars she opens. Yeah, I know, right? Now she has a backdrop.
Yeah, I know, right?
But Worf was nuanced. He had a lot of... it's so funny because Worf believed in a Klingon in his mind. Like, you're all honorable and everything, but a lot of Klingons really aren't like that. But he had like a romanticized version of what Klingons were.
Well, he lived with humans for so long, so he had to romanticize it. So he
only had the tails. Yeah. So he lives up to those ideals that most Klingons don't live up to.
Yeah, he doesn't have that passion and he want to go drink and be, but Worf, he's not that kind of guy.
And I know that can come off as boring, but I find it endearing with the way Worf was, because even when he's around these people, he's almost not embarrassed of other Klingons. But he's like, we're supposed to be, the blood of Kahless and all that kind of stuff and be honorable. And so I can see people making that connection, but I actually think Worf is more nuanced than just like that boring straight stick in the mud guy.
Yeah. He's not like Boris either. He doesn't have. He's not like that.
Not too many comments in this video. The Orville's been on a little bit of a slump. Hopefully next week we get a lot more. But Billy Deerhead always gives us super big comments, and I'm actually going to break it down paragraph to paragraph. We'll respond and then we'll move on. The last time I saw an episode of a TV show called Home, the Enterprise just barely saved the Earth from a Borg invasion. I've always enjoyed these calmer episodes where we get to meet the characters' family, get to learn more about where they came from, their backstory, and the family that helped shape who they are. Also, getting to see Robert Picardo again for more than just a quick phone call was a nice treat too. I love that guy ever since I first saw him in Gremlins 2. You thought he was funny on Voyager. Go see how the way that movie ends. He's been in so many things.
Oh, yeah. And he played the scientist in that one. Yeah, too. I remember that.
He was also a oh my god, I'm trying to remember. There was a sitcom on Nickelodeon. It was like a teen romantic comedy. It was like a high school themed one. He was like the principal in that.
Oh, okay.
I for the life.
It's probably so obscure.
That's like the first time I saw that guy. But that's when I was like a kid watching Nickelodeon. Yeah. But he does so many things, and he does every role as if he's like going for an Academy Award.
Yeah, because he just has that flair. He just brings it. It's funny. The first time I remember seeing him, he in the movie Back to School. I know this isn't nerdy at all. He was the guy having an affair with Rodney Dangerfield's wife in the movie. It's funny too.
He can play like that nice doctor guy.
He can also play a prick
like
too.
Yeah, exactly. That know-it-all jerk. He's such a fun actor, and I'm just glad to see him in sci-fi stuff again.
I do too. That's cool.
We continue on. I'm glad they didn't wait too long to address the issue of Orville's weaker gravity affecting Elora's super strength. Once again, keeping the show grounded in reality, and also appeasing all those nitpicky nerds who sure have started pointing out the fact that eventually, speaking of nitpicking, let's get to those the noise out of the way. The planet's supergravity only seems to affect the people from the Orville. Olara falling down as soon as she leaves the gravity field. Mercia's leg getting crushed when the suit starts to fail. And of course the bottle getting flattened like tinfoil. But as far as everything else is concerned, the supergravity doesn't seem to exist. Nubules of hair being yanked to the ground, no other object being crushed against the ground, which makes me wonder just how the hell their buildings, vehicles, tools, utensils, and everything else on the planet is made to resist that force. And we never see pretty flowers gently waving in the breeze on the beach. Yay, physics. Okay, sorry, just needed to get that out of my system. Moving on. I would say unless on a molecular level,
that's what I was saying
everything,
before.
Again, I'm sci-fi BSing this, but since the planet everything from a drop of water all the way up to the human life.
Even on our planet, we found life where in the bottom of the ocean was completely black. How can there be life?
Yeah, those little fishes that live under all. Not even that. They kill just the pressure.
The pressure alone. That's the thing. It's saying that. That's a great point. Yeah, and they survive.
So they adapt. But again, also there's not a whole civilization of people down there either. But hey, it's sci-fi. We're giving it I'm giving it a little bit of a pass. But it does make sense. Shouldn't like even her hair being pulled down technically. Was her hair super strong?
Yeah, all the
come on, give us that sci-fi love. We love it.
Yeah.
From day one, Olara has been wrestling with her inferiority complex. And ever since the first time we saw her family, we've known exactly why. At this point, I think it's a bit of a trope. Maybe even a bit cliche for a character to have condescending parents. And a sibling who counters them with reverence and envy. Nevertheless, this episode gave Olara loads of character development and growth. Seeing her remain on duty even during her physical therapy and trying to solve the mystery of the episode really showed off what the consummated professional she was. Yeah, even when she was wheelchair bound, she still wanted to investigate and figure out the mystery.
That's how she is.
Yeah, she was never going to just do nothing.
But I love how when she did physical training when she was on the ship, her lifting 600 pounds. I know that's nothing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she was like deadlifting all that way. I'm like, damn, I wish I could deadlift that. Yo, Felix was in this episode, and Star Trek alum joins the Orville. How many is that now? Anyways, the two Star Trek doctors together in one room. The dinner's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I know, right? They just become those other characters just for a little bit.
That'd be funny.
Which they kind of did when they were talking about the vaccinations and stuff, because that could have been plucked right from Trek.
Yeah, there's Phlox and there's the EMH. There's the doctor. Yeah, I know. That'd be funny.
Then they start talking about their son, and I couldn't help but think, wait a minute, did Alara's parents stage this whole thing to try to hook her up with their son? Oh, God, no. I thought that for a second, like a little bit.
I thought they were thinking that, but then they were thinking they just wanted to be nice. I think it was more of that.
Because, like, wouldn't they be like, oh, your son, oh, yeah, he goes here. Oh, yeah, Laura, he's a professor at the university. And then she'd be like, oh, God, no. But that's subverting your expectations. Seth gets you thinking one way, and he flips it 180 on you so fast.
But it's convincing, though.
I love it. It was great.
It comes so natural. It's like, wow.
Then the guy starts complaining about the ladle being dirty. What is he, some kind of smoothie germaphobe? Yeah, that's kind of how he came off as.
Yeah.
Now he wants to use his hand to scoop it up. What? How is this guy's hand going to be cleaner than a few germs than a spoon? That doesn't make any damn sense. Then he pulls out a gun, and I immediately have a flashback of the scene from Star Trek Generations where the saucer section is falling towards the planet. Data has a view on the screen. He says, oh, shit.
Exactly.
It's exactly like things got serious really fast. That twist came out of left field so hard my neck still hurts. Here we are, thought groundskeeper Willie was the culprit, and it comes out to be Ned freaking Flanders. What the hell? I can't help but praise the writing enough on this show. They led us to believe that some petty cat burglar is going through people's things when they're not home, then it turns out to be a carefully planned couple's revenge plot for their dead son. Damn, I'm sure it's enough of Olara rises to the occasion to save her whole family in Mercia. Also, we didn't have to watch anyone's fingers getting chopped off, which I was massively appreciated. Again, I had to say, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna do it. Yeah. Like, I was gonna I was half looking at the screen, like, oh, good.
I wasn't looking at it, so I don't like stuff like that. Ugh.
And the funny thing is, they show they can regenerate limbs and everything. I still don't want my freaking fingers chopped off.
That doesn't matter. Another thing too, it was also added that I guess somehow they didn't have any food replicators there.
Yeah, they were just making their food from scratch.
I thought that was
because they probably.
But again, that also made a great scene too, so that kind of played into that.
So after all that, I was wiping the sweat from my forehead. I'm watching Laura talking to Captain Mercer, whose leg is perfectly fine. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, I know, but they showed that they can regrow limbs. Yeah. So he probably had that.
I said he got a new limb just like Malloy did, a little baby limb. That's a girl.
It would have been funny if you'd have turned out to be showing like a little baby legs. That would have been funny.
Yeah, but they wanted to keep it serious.
They wanted to keep it serious. Like, he jumps out of his chair and he's, like, really short because his legs aren't long enough yet.
He's just like Deadpool, too.
Yeah.
He's not walking around.
My baby legs. Run those baby legs. Yeah. And I slowly begin to dawn on me. Wait a minute. She's talking about the Orville in the past tense. She actually going to leave us? Is she? Mercer's going to say something to change her mind, right? Nope, she actually leaving. What the freaking hell? So everyone gathers in the Subtle Bay to give Olara their final farewells. While I start to feel this growing lump in my throat and my eyes kind of get damp. Why? Why is she leaving the show? Why is it such a cool episode, but you don't have to take it that far? I mean, are you seriously going to leave us with the literal Elephant Man as a replacement? That guy sucks. The episode even made the point of firmly establishing that he heavily sucks. So I'm hoping that they like an extended vacation or something. Is the actress pregnant? Is she actually never coming back? So many heart-wrenching questions. You made us fall in love with this character. Now you took her away. Maybe even forever. Dan, this show is good. I love these characters too much. And now, just like Tarshiar, she's gone. But at least Olara left on her own terms, and there is at least a possibility of her coming back. Unlike Tasha, who was pointlessly murdered, and then the angry talking pool of the Mocklin and the Black Printers Inc. Yeah, I know, right?
There's a big blob monster on the planet. I remember that episode.
But she made a movie for Netflix. And that was, I guess, a conflict of interest for her, and she decided to do the movie.
That's what it kind of was. There's all these things going around, so hopefully that means she'll come back after this.
Yes, because they left the door open. Yeah. So she can come back later, maybe just for a visit, maybe for a special episode.
Maybe, exactly. And the thing that I want to speculate on is she probably thought this show was going to cancel. That's just my gut.
Yeah, because because there was such a long wait between seasons. They probably thought, okay, McFarlane got to do his stupid sci-fi show, whatever, it's never going to go anywhere, and it actually was a smash hit. Yep. And yeah, like I said, they took one season to make you fall in love with every character on the bridge.
A season and 2 episodes.
And I love the Doctor. And I don't want them to get hurt. I want to see them succeed. I want to see them triumph.
Boris is still my favorite character. He's gone down a bit, but he's still my favorite character. Him and Isaac are pretty close now.
And again, like the whole shuttle base scene, it was a genuine.
It was genuine. It felt like I said, it could have been the after party. It felt very genuine.
Yeah, it could have been them out of costume, out of makeup, and it was genuine for the feelings for the actual character and the actress. Hopefully, she comes back. That's the last comment. We didn't have as many as I thought we were going to have more. But make sure you let everyone know if they like the Orville to watch our videos and leave comments because we love doing these videos.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And normally they last a little bit longer, but, hey, it is what it is, and we'll go through them. Even if there was only one comment, we'd still make a video, but then hopefully more the merrier.
Yep.
The more conversation there is, the more dialogue, the more exploration of ideas and thoughts. That's always what we strive for.
Exactly. I know that he decided to go to the beach house, but wouldn't it have been cool to see Saleya like more of the
all over the place?
Yeah, but I mean, you didn't have to, but that'd be kind of cool.
Because it was just her hometown.
Yeah.
So it'd be like just going to like one city on Earth, and it's not everywhere.
But man, I love that little shuttle they took to the beach house. It looks so cool.
That's just a cool little ship.
Yeah, it is.
I want one of those.
I know, right?
I want one of those horses. I want one of those. They're so cool looking. But the next episode's going to be tonight, and it looks like it's going to be a cool, epic.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a real...
No, what I noticed last time Mercer was on the ship and he's fighting people, he's kind of kicking a lot of ass. Like, are humans a little bit stronger? Are they augmenting
Well, I mean,
a little bit?
to think that he's captain, maybe he's more training, I'm assuming.
Because I remember the last time he fought some crow, like he close-wise one of them, they went like flying.
Well, I don't know, but maybe the crow aren't that strong. Maybe they just look at him because remember, their planet has no sun, so maybe they don't have
Or just humans have evolved, and since we eat healthier and do all that, so everyone's a little bit stronger.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they're not as strong. They just look intimidating.
Or is that Seth MacFarlane like, hey, showing up, I'm a badass,
I think maybe that's a little bit of his Captain Kirk.
Yeah, a little bit of that
shock brawler, yeah.
But it looks hella cool. I wonder the circumstances of being captured and all that stuff. It's going to be pretty cool.
Oh, I can't wait.
Do you think they're going to introduce like an overarching villain? Like someone that they're... Because in the previews, you see that one Krill guy's like, oh, I can make you feel so much pain. You think he's going to be like his con,
Yeah, because so far the other two ones that would have been are dead now. So
yeah.
it'd have to be him. It has to be a new person.
Do you think he'll be like a multi-episode thing?
Might be.
It
could be like Tomalak when Next Generation, when he was with Picard, against Picard, when he was a Romulan. That whole kind of...
So hopefully they start making some more of those, like building those bigger, longer seasonal bridges, between characters and having some big conflict. But it's funny because the Orville isn't a flagship. It's like a mid-class ship. So like if they got into this big, giant adventure, you'd be like, why wouldn't the other ships be there?
I know, that's just kind of funny.
But yeah, that's what makes it fun, though.
But I think right now McFarlane will maybe establish that here, but I don't think he wants to get to that almost a war twice. Yeah, we got.
Yeah, we don't need a Dominion war just yet.
Yeah, let's wait a few years before that happens.
But we're looking forward to it. Share, like the video. Leave comments. We love the comments.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe.
Yeah, and let other fans of the Orville know. Again, I feel like I have to be like an ambassador for the Orville because I know it feels so right when I watch it. I don't feel like, oh, here we go, something crappy and stupid. When we sit through Discovery, if it didn't have Trek's name on it, I wouldn't watch it.
No. And the thing is, and then also, for honestly, I don't know if I'd watch it if I wasn't making a podcast either.
If we weren't reviewing episodes of Discovery, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
It would be that bad. But it's part of the fun.
Yeah, exactly, to do it. But
goofing on it's always fun, but we're going to have 2 episodes up.
But the thing is, I'd rather it be good. That's the thing, and that's sad. To me, it's this Orville. It does not only feel like Star Trek, it is the new Star Trek show. It is, guys. We just got to be honest. And does it have some problems? Sure, every show does, but nowhere near Discovery's problems.
Yeah, I'm not face palming and thinking what the hell's going on then, because it helps to be a brand new world.
Yeah,
it always helps because we don't know all the histories and all the.
But McFarlane can do that.
Yeah,
he has this whole world to build.
So definitely tomorrow we'll have right after the episode airs. We record it. Usually have the episode up a couple hours afterwards. So leave comments, leave them early, leave them often, and we'll read them and we'll do another episode just like this. I've been your host, Crimson Sin.
15 PCA.
Thanks for watching.
See you later. Bye.
Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching and be sure to like, sub, and share. Also, for the most up-to-date information about the podcast, follow us on Twitter at C15 Podcast.